Hello, and we're straight into it on this one. Apologies at the beginning. I know usually there's a scoreboard so you can check if your name is there or if you recognise anybody. No, we went straight in because I screwed up and I still had the recording software open with a microphone, so I had to turn that off, or else you would have heard me just having a conversation with Kitty in the background. So, yeah. This is the first of the Trebuchets. There's a couple of builds I can make from this. The reason there's only two is there's a few that use weapons art in the game, MML launchers, some of them that use ECM, which there are no ECM variants of the Trebuchet. And yeah, so we've got this one. This is one I was actually surprised wasn't in. I can understand though why PGI probably didn't add it, because you can build it anyway, like I have here. This is the Trebuchet 5S. The S can be misleading. It does not mean Steiner. It's actually a Free Worlds League model, if I remember correctly. And the version is a totally different approach for the Trebuchet, where traditionally the mech is a fire support model. Two LRM-15s with a bunch of backup lasers, but not the best heat sinks. The mech always had an issue with overheating, so it either fired its missiles or it fired its lasers. Firing both was dangerous. But yeah, the 5S was a switch where the LRMs are removed in place of having two SRM-6 launchers. And the background for this is that, as a test, this was done by creating lances of Trebuchets, with two of them being this short-range 5S model and two of them being the standard LRM model. And the idea was that the LRM mechs would basically lay down fire on the target and basically suppress it, and then the two short-range models would get up close and personal and do massive damage at close range, while the LRM ones kept fire support up or moved in themselves with their medium lasers and just basically just burnt a target down as quickly as possible. And these lances were very successful, and it led to them building more of them and making it a new sort of regular lance configuration for the Free Worlds League military. And yeah, it's good. We all know how SRMs work in MechWarrior Online. If you've been playing it for any length of time, you know how effective a good old splat boat can be. And obviously this is just two SRMs, which does not a splat boat make, but it is still fairly fun. Doesn't really overheat that quickly. It can overheat though, because it still suffers an issue of heat generation at times if you are firing just the medium lasers and the SRMs constantly. This one does back up by having, well, within the book it has 8 extra single heat sinks. Obviously you can do this the same with doubles, you can still get the 8, and you still have a fairly big engine. This has got an XL engine, which I know some people cringe at the idea of an XL engine. I mean, I know some people just, it physically makes their skin crawl because of the mechanics of MechWarrior Online. You can pinpoint a side torso and blow it off and the mech's instantly dead, I know. But one thing it gave me was speed and the ability to equip a lot more heat sinks. So this one on a cold map actually runs fairly well. But as I said, do keep an eye on that old heat situation. And the other problem is, yes, the Trebuchet is very flat mech, as it's not very thick, and thus it has very flat, very defined surfaces. So you can see those side torsos, and you can see the actual physical lines where the side torso hitboxes are, or just a general area of where you should be aiming. So it still isn't a front. Don't ever get front up with this mech. This mech does not do well in a face tanking scenario. It still works as a support model. With its speed, it can get in close, it can slap something with the missiles and the lasers, and then hopefully people behind you will attack and you can fade away. You can go around a corner, you can go back toward friendly lines and keep the fight going that way. But it's definitely not something that face tanks. Like, don't take this against light mechs, don't take it against other medium mechs, don't take it against anything unless you've got friends. That's how I'd support it. But it's still immensely fun. And yeah, I feel I gave a good account of it. This match was great, by the way. I really enjoyed this match. It was real back and forth. But of course, as you can see, it's classic Canyon. It's classic Caustic. It's classic many maps. It's just run around in a huge circle, keep trying to catch up with them, and do as much damage as humanly possible. That's all the match was. And I know some people, it is part of the reason why some people stop playing MechWarrior Online, because matches do devolve into this very rinse-repeat approach. One team goes right, the other team goes left, they circle each other, the guys at the back get killed, the guys at the front get the other team's guys at the back, and they grind each other down until one team has basically more health left than the others, and that's it. I still felt it was a really good fight though, because this got close. I mean, that's where I got popped, but I was already in pretty rough shape. For I think an artillery strike sort of stripped most of my armor. And yeah, the last people, but the team was close. It was a real back and forth fight. That king crab earlier on, who just sort of appeared right behind the team. I guess he was just trying to do as much damage as possible before he got popped. But yeah, it's a really good match. It's fun. That was the main thing. Having fun. Think about imagine that in a game, huh? That's the problem. It's like even the games that are like this free to play, they're all too competitive now. You play Warships or War Thunder or any of these things. You always got these people who just get so wound up that they don't win. You know, I just don't give a shit. I really don't care. Like, if you enjoy the match, if it was a fun fight, that's great. You all those meant to die instantly, and yeah, it's frustrating. But if you just if it's a good match, win or lose, who cares? It was a fun fight. But I'd recommend try it out if you haven't already. I imagine some people probably have already kind of built this in the past, but yeah, Trebuchet 5S, it's damn fun. So I'll leave you with that one. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.